Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between. Thank you for joining for another round of Fight Night. Bring in first, Mr. Big Toe. What up, Mr. Toe? William.
Bruh, you forgot about your boy. Okay. I got you, brother. That's okay.
That wasn't on me. That one
I know.
wasn't on
No,
me.
no.
Not on
I know.
me.
I know. I know who it's on. That's okay. I'm sitting here watching. Actually, to be honest, I'm sitting here watching old school ECW right now. I just watched the Eliminators and the Dudley Boys go at it.
Very nice, very nice. He's having tech issues, so he's blaming it on the computer.
I know. It's all good.
All right, Mr. Tone, how are you today? How are you doing this week, sir?
I'm outstanding, brother. How are you guys doing today?
Doing well. All right, let's jump right into it. So I'm gonna hold the one thing I really wanted to talk about until Mr. Morgan gets in here, because we can't talk about his girl.
I know, but in speaking on that particular person, there's another person that we saw last week that those two really, they get along very well, but in this case, I don't know.
In AEW debuted last week?
No, she's already been there, but she told Tony Storm, the next time I touch this belt, I'm going to be the champ, not you.
Oh, you're talking about the professor.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I would actually love to see the professor win that match. I gotta say, like, I love Serena Deeb. I think she is supremely talented.
Yeah, motherfucker. Yeah, I heard your ass. You couldn't hear me, but I heard your ass, motherfucker. I'm talking to Josie. I heard you, Josie.
What I do?
I heard your shit.
What I do?
I heard you.
I don't even know what I did.
I'm talking you playing with the computer. I heard your ass.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You couldn't hear me, but I heard you.
I knew you could hear me, so. And
talking shit from 25,000 miles away.
Always.
You better be like, I'm come back down there.
Always talking shit.
You better be like, I'll come back down there, put you in this doggone GTS. Right. I can pick your ass up, motherfucker. Just because you tall, though, man, they can't lift your ass.
As we were saying, yes, Deeb versus Tony Storm. I'm excited for that match. It should be a fantastic match.
That should be a woman banger right there. Which the way Serena Deeb wrestles, she's more offensive, and she has those mat moves. Tony Storm, it's just gonna be an outstanding fucking match, regardless of what you say.
So now I can say it. Now that he's in here, it is being reported that Camille has signed with AEW.
Let me say that, motherfucker. You supposed to let me say that.
I wasn't supposed to let you do shit. I just wanted you to be here.
Cut your ass off, motherfucker. The hell you think you?
Whose show is this guy?
I will cut your ass. Who stream artist did? I'll cut your ass. Y'all have to be recording all day long. Shit. Me fucking with me. That was supposed to be my piece of news. But you did what they did to Little Richard. The white man just stole the black man shit. That's all right.
You gotta understand. This man loves Camilla, which is I understand that. Athena, those two right there, you can't. When it comes to them two, don't say nothing about them.
You should be ashamed of yourself, Joseph. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I'm not.
You should be.
But all right, Will. So here, as I've announced it, I'll throw it to you first and say, how do you feel about this signing? Is this the best place she could have gone?
Yeah, I think so. And the only reason why I think it's the best place she could have done, because with the way NWA's schedule was and the fact that she didn't have to wrestle as much. She still wrestled, don't get me wrong, but she didn't have to wrestle as much on that particular schedule, I thought WB would have been way too much for her schedule-wise. And I think AEW gives her that balance. And I think that's the best place for her.
Plus, I heard she does want to focus on some acting.
Mm-hmm.
Too.
But if she goes to AEW, think about it. I agree with you, Will. The schedule that the E has would burn Kamille out quickly.
Mm-hmm.
300 days a year,
so fast. Plus, the division that right now, without Charlotte, without Rhea, she'd run all over it. But she'd have Jade. She'd have to deal with Jade and Becky. And
don't get me started on.
Don't even get us started on Becky.
Title back on Becky. Some bullshit.
And possibly, if they bring Shayna Baszler up and do it right, that's probably the top 3 she'd have to deal with until the other ones come back. Bianca, she'd run all over Bianca.
She would.
But right now, I have to agree. That would be AEW is the best place for her, but they have to use her correctly.
I do agree there.
But I agree with Josie because I think the women's talent in AEW, it would be better for her because there's so many ways. There's so many ways.
Honestly, we say all the time that the women's division in AEW is the best, and truthfully, if you really look at it,
it is.
The women's division in AEW is one of the best divisions in wrestling. Period. End of story. Men or women, they have some of the greatest talent. I would say one of the best characters right now in Toni Storm. I'm actually really enjoying this thing they've got going on between Purrazzo and Deonna and Thunder Rosa, and I think they're going to use this to
from NWA anyway.
Well, and I think this is going to bring in Britt Baker because she don't have no love for Thunder Rosa. Her and Purrazzo are really good friends, so this could be a way to bring in Baker.
True. How long before they say she's coming back?
They haven't said anything. There has been nothing. Nothing.
Just like MJF.
Yeah, exactly. That's one thing you got to give AEW their props on. They're pretty good at keeping the secrets that they want to keep.
And that's amazing considering you got Meltzer running around the back shadows all damn day.
I don't know. It seems to me like Meltzer is losing some of his AEW stock. Like it doesn't seem like him and AEW are on quite the same page anymore either.
He's an annoyance. He's a huge annoyance. That's what he is. He always has been a big huge annoyance. Like his opinion is so high that no one else can touch it. And that's not true.
That's why he got rid of him.
That man act like he a former world champion.
That's why the E don't talk to him no more.
Yeah.
Because they know he's a shit starter.
And
that's all he does. Start shit. He prints shit, start shit, and talk shit.
He prints the shit that
I'm not trying with you.
He prints the shit that is for his own agenda.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Kamille landed good. I do agree with Big Tone. I think they need to use her right. I will say they've gotten better with how they're using their incoming stars on the women's side. When you just look at like Purrazzo and even Valkyrie, she's not necessarily been on AEW, but she's got a really prominent role on ROH. And one of the best things going on ROH, and her and Johnny now have a TV show on YouTube. So I mean, I feel like the women's division has really stepped up, and like I said, it's probably one of the best divisions in pro wrestling, period, at the moment. Next thing I want to talk about is I want to hit on a couple of comments said by multiple people on multiple different comments. First thing I want to talk about is you two were here last week. Me and Stax talked about a little bit the end of Dynamite. How'd y'all feel about it? I know y'all don't like the Bucks, blah, 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 but take that part out of it. How did y'all feel about the ending segment?
Tony Khan had to take that hit. In order to save that, in order to save that particular storyline, he had to take that hit.
And you do agree that was the right direction, like that. Yeah. What the way they're taking it now is a good direction. Even I said this last week. I want to see if you agree with me. It kind of even makes showing the footage make a little bit more sense.
I agree.
Okay.
Tony Khan had to take that hit. Regardless of what anybody says, in order to further that storyline along and bring Jack Perry back into the fold, which I think was stupid, but I hate Jack Perry. He's garbage to me. But to put him back into the storyline with everybody else, Tony Khan had to play the game.
Again, you hate 3 out of the 4 or 3 out of the 5 people involved in the storyline, but you do feel like this is an interesting storyline as a pro wrestling fan.
It's getting interesting now.
Okay. Well, I know you don't follow AEW hardcore, but did you see it?
I saw that motherfucker take some bumps.
Yeah, I caught
that was one of the softest TK/Meltzer drivers I've ever seen.
They tried not to hurt the man.
That was like, you say he's taking bumps. That was one of the softest.
But they're trying not to hurt the man. They're trying not to hurt the man too, because they know where their paycheck come from. But I agree with Big Tone. It's the right way to go. It's the right way to go at this storyline.
And then seeing TK show up in the brace on the draft was just a little bit better.
He is a professional wrestling fan, so he knows to play.
He know how to play the game. He know how to play the game.
Baby.
Yeah, he know how to play the game to a certain extent.
All right, moving past that though, because of this and everything going on, he had an opportunity here. NFL Network wanted to put him on during the draft. He used that moment to again throw shade at WWE. However, it is not being taken from what I've seen by the NFL Network, by Fox, and anybody who said it or was in charge of him saying it as a negative.
He's taking a page out of Vince McMahon's book. Vince did it first.
Nobody can beat Vince in the world of petty.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Nobody beat Vince in the world of petty.
And
he's just taking a page out of his book, like Big Tone said.
Well, and I think the thing that gets lost here on people is for AEW to take shots up is not necessarily. Well, I can't think of the word. It doesn't look as bad on them as it does for WWE to take shots down.
I have 3 letters for you. WCW.
Yeah. Now I do agree with you on that, Tone, and that's a great. If people don't understand that is yes, WCW took it too far, giving away storylines, things like that. Like there was a point that it crossed the line. Do you feel that AEW has crossed that line yet?
They're getting there.
But I do agree.
Go ahead, Bidon.
They're getting there, and everybody knows since Vince is gone, Triple H is in charge. And everybody knows you piss Triple H off, he might not say it right then, and he might let it go for a little while, but he'll sneak up on your ass and catch you slipping.
That's like in social media when you have a smaller creator up punching at a bigger creator. The thing you have to realize is the fact, you can swing that punch. That's fine. But at some point, you can't get mad when that bigger creator comes back down on your ass and you face the full brunt of whatever they have. So you got to be careful when you got to be careful when you're playing that game.
See,
you got to be careful.
Okay, this is something I wanted to bring up about this because I've said this a couple of times on the show. Again, this seemed so placed to me. Tony's not a stupid man, and
wait. Let me stop you right there. Tony is. Let me see. Hell, I'll go ahead and say it. He is a stupid man.
When it comes to pro wrestling and running a business, from what we've seen, he's not a stupid man. So this is what I'm going to say. I've said before that maybe, possibly, there is some collusion between WWE and AEW to build it. It seemed like a comment that was planted to me. Again, I could be totally wrong on this. I've said this. This is strictly thoughts coming out of my mouth.
Want to poke the bear?
But Big Toad, it's like I said after a couple of weeks ago, after WWE made all those comments the week of Mania. Like, I'm saying that this is a plan between Triple H and Khan.
I doubt it very seriously.
I seriously do too. I would be extremely surprised. But again, as I've kind of started to teach you, Big Town, you don't bet against me when it comes to wrestling storylines. I tend to get things right, as it was.
But my question is this. But my question is this. Okay, so we're saying that it may not be planted, that these upshots actually mean what they say, that they're upshots. So and let's not get it twisted. I like AEW. I like what they do. I like Impact. I like what they do. But
this place loves wrestling.
But if
Fight Night loves wrestling. Period.
But if WWE really wanted to rid the word of either one,
they could do it as a snap of a
they can do it as a snap of a finger.
Yeah.
That's why guys say you gotta be careful with your punch. You got to be careful.
Oh yeah, I don't think. I think before that happened, before Triple H went the snap, if you will, the Thanos snap,
yeah,
he would fire a strong warning shot to TK. He would do something to say, back the fuck off.
Right.
Or I'm about to light your ass.
Triple H knows that there's enough actions for everybody. Everybody can go eat. He knows.
Triple H comes from the attitude era. Exactly. I 100% agree. Triple H comes from the attitude era of the Monday Night Wars, which is something that kind of leads me to maybe this is a discussion to build this war, to build all this, because like he was during that time. He knows how popular it was. He knows what it could do again. But on that same note, that's why I think Triple H would fire the warning shot, because he knows competition is good.
Yes.
Like one of the things that hurt WWE, one of the reasons that wrestling got where it was over the last 20 years is because there was no goddamn competition.
Right.
Fact. Now that there's competition, but he would, okay, that is true. There's competition now for the E. Now, if you look at it back in the Attitude Era, you have to understand they hated WCW.
Yeah.
Can't stand them.
And the wrestlers hated wrestlers hated each other. There is camaraderie in the locker rooms between all the companies, from what I can see. You've got a lot of people married to one person who's if they're married, the likelihood is they're married to a wrestler or someone who works in the business and works for one of the 5 companies.
Or dating. Or
have dated.
Mm-hmm.
But they know not to cross that line when it comes to E, because they've been through the Monday Night Wars. They shut down WCW, and it ain't that nice. And with now, the difference between now and then, they got TKO behind them.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
And they're going to Netflix, and they can basically do whatever the fuck they want.
Which here's a funny thing I just learned. Did y'all know the agency that Dwayne and John Cena are both assigned to, Endeavor owns?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that.
I had no idea.
I knew that. I know that about a year and a half ago.
All right.
Why
so
do
next thing.
Why do you think John Cena was in Fast and Furious?
Yeah. I think that's why they've been both making more appearances. Because Endeavor can make their schedules work better.
Exactly.
So, all right, next thing I want to talk about, after 50 plus years, Vincent Kennedy McMahon has absolutely no ties to pro wrestling.
Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about that. Because from everything I'm hearing,
I don't believe
2025.
I don't believe that, Will. I don't believe that.
professional wrestling.
That man ain't
I'm not your
it's too much in his blood, Josie. It's too much in his blood.
Yeah, I understand that, Will, but right now he's focusing on trying to fight a federal court case.
He's already convinced that case is gonna settle. He's already convinced of that. So
they can settle. They can settle on the civil side, and the federal government could still decide to take him to court for human trafficking.
But you think Vince has no power? You think Vince has no power at all? Come on now. This is McMahon you're talking about.
Don't be stupid.
This is McMahon.
Okay, well, first off, hang on. Big Toad, I want to address what.
It ain't one of us.
Without Vince McMahon is like the NFL without the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep.
And the Green Bay Packers.
That would be another good thing.
And if you ever put anything past, and you can never ever put anything past Vince.
As of right now, as of this moment, he has no connection to pro wrestling.
Believe that if you want to.
What do you think, Big Tone? Like the president of TKO Endeavor came out and said he has no connection to the E.
He has no connection to the E. That doesn't mean he's not planning to do his own thing. Why?
But that's not what Big Tone is saying right now, Will. That's not what he's saying. I'm asking Big Tone. That's not what he's saying. He's saying that he's still involved in the E, and I just don't believe that. Because if for some reason somehow that came out, that any involvement with him during this that would be detrimental. Detrimental.
But the thing about it, even if you don't have attachments to the E, even if he didn't have any attachments to the E, he can still get things done on his own. He has the resources.
I'm not saying that he may not be setting his own company up. I don't think he is at this moment.
I do.
I think that Vince is, from what I just read an article before he cashed all this out. And from what I read, he's spending all his time traveling, enjoying his life, just being a retired old guy.
You think that? Okay. Okay.
But I'm just. I think he is probably going to end up in jail, just like Donald J. Trump.
Don't let your hate and your political alliances determine the fact that this man ain't still connected. Don't make this thing this man still ain't got money. And don't think that this man still don't want to be connected to professional wrestling. It's in his blood, Josie. That's all the man knows.
Answer this one question. What did he do during the steroid trial?
I wasn't alive, bud.
You weren't alive back then. Well, that's a good point, though. That's a good point, though.
Go back and research it. Tell me what you think. Now, if he went through the steroid trial, he knows how to fuck with the U.S. government because he played them like a fool in the steroid trial.
And remember, and Big Tone, you remember, they came after him hard. Exactly. And he still won.
And he broke them off. And he broke his foot off in their ass.
Between his knowledge and the people in his camp under that particular payroll,
Jerry McDevitt is on a motherfucking mission.
If anybody can be a rap, federal, civil, or whatever it may be,
Vince McMahon.
It'd be Vince McMahon. It'd be Vince.
I'm writing down. So, Will, you say?
I believe everything you hear saying Vince McMahon is out of place.
He ain't done.
At the moment,
at the moment he is.
At the moment, it may look like that, but you have to realize
his children
are still in the business.
That
means he is still in the business.
Wait till 2025.
No, Tone, that's not how business works. He can't. Okay, I'm not going to get in this argument in it because I don't want to spend the whole show on this.
He can't do anything in the E, and we realize that. All we're saying
that's not what he's saying.
No. What I'm saying is, you saying he without the yes, he basically, if you want to read the lines, you want to read the paper and say that he's out, fine, you do that. But if you read between the lines and you know what Vince did during the steroid trial, don't believe everything you see.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
And remember, he's still talking to Dwayne Johnson. He's still talking to John Cena. So him in pro wrestling being disconnected is far from the truth. I think he's done. I think he's done with the E. I think that point is past. That you're right about. You're right about. That part's done. But 2025 comes around. Watch it.
And
come up with something new.
Again, my point was, at this moment, he has no connection to E for the first time in 55 years.
True. With him personally, yes, that is true. I agree with you.
That's
That is
true.
true.
So
that is true.
And
but if you, like I said before, read between the lines. His kids are still in the business.
Again, like, if that were to come out, I understand what you're saying, Big Tone. But if things like that were to come out, I don't believe that is happening, because that would be absolutely detrimental to the business, to TKO, like, if TKO were to find out that and the only one of his kids is still in the business is Stephanie, and Stephanie, as far as we know, other than making an appearance at Mania in the draft last night, has no involvement with the business either.
Indirectly, she does. Indirectly, she does, because she's still married to Triple H.
And don't be surprised if you say Shane pop up.
I won't be shocked.
No, that's not going to happen. Mm-mm.
Why not?
Because Shane and Triple H never got along.
This is true.
No, that is 100% true.
That's true.
That is 100% true.
They've never gotten along. But I'm just saying, I think Stephanie and Shane, indirectly.
And I've heard they don't get along very well.
I think Stephanie and Shane may have some pull indirectly. Because like I say, these people still talk. These people still talk to Dwayne. These people still talk to John. So I think indirectly they may have, give their opinions and their thoughts, because Stephanie married to Triple H. So there you go. That's an indirect connection right there. But I just feel, I see what you're saying. There's no Vince McMahon in control, and that's great.
That's true.
Because he's more antiquated in the old territory days than Jim Cornette ever has been.
Well, and here's my other thing.
I agree.
If Vince tries to start another business, that's great. That's more wrestling, whatever. We all know that what makes pro wrestling, there's one thing that makes a pro wrestling business successful in this country. Because Vince isn't going to open an indie. It's not going to happen.
How you figure?
How do I figure Vince isn't going to open an indie?
Wouldn't he have to?
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't see Vince opening an indie, so he'd have to pull what an AEW did and came in with a big TV deal. He would have to have the TV deal.
No. What he would do is, everybody knows the NWA is floundering in money. He would buy NWA from Billy Corgan, and take over that.
I don't know. I don't know.
He would redo it the way he would probably do it a little bit differently than when he built the E, but he would do it.
I don't know. The other thing we got to think of here, guys, is Vince is almost 80. Like, he's not going to be with us a whole lot longer. Like, at some point, the man is going to... It's gonna end. I'm just saying, like.
Oh yeah, that's life.
That's true. That's logical. But if the man want to work, let him work.
And I'm not saying anything against that, guys. But what I'm saying is,
you got people at 85, 88 working at Walmart trying to guard the stuff.
Again, let me finish making my.
Triple bypass surgery, still going at it. Come on now. You think
again, let me finish my point here. And my point is. I don't see Corgan selling to McMahon. Corgan has talked many times that he hates McMahon. He said that. So,
money talks, bullshit runs.
I mean, you're 100%. You're 100% right there. But the other thing is I don't see Vince opening an indie. So if he can't buy NWA, he would have to come in with a huge TV deal. And I don't know if a network is going to give Vince a TV deal with the issues he has. So I'm just saying. I could be wrong, guys. I'm just saying that he's gonna hit a lot of obstacles, and I personally don't think he's doing another business.
You're looking at it through the lens of a morality issue, and that's the problem, because you're looking at it from a morality issue. These businesses, these companies are looking at it from a make money issue, a make money situation. And if he goes down to NWA,
but then
and offer the man twice what it's worth, Coleman won't
So okay, you then run into another issue. All the people who aren't going to want to work for Vince.
Because you can replace talent.
Because
It's easy.
You can replace talent. You can replace people.
There's only so much talent that is known talent. Like if big talent doesn't want to work there, that's again another indie promotion that no one's gonna watch.
But my other question is this: you're thinking people will think along the sides of yourself, and that's not necessarily true. You got people like you got professional wrestlers out there wrestling at these bingo halls up here struggling, trying to make an end meet and still filling out their dream. You don't think these talented folks will take the personal issues aside and go make that money? Shit.
I'll say it again.
NWA in the beginning was built with those very same people. In the beginning, it's built with those very same people. And the wrestling
business has changed a lot.
No, not really.
Not really when you think about it.
Exactly. Only thing that's changed from then till now is the face. Everything else is just the same. You go backstage.
You forget that. You forget. Yes, everybody has morals. Yes, everybody has the perfect world in which they want to live. But you also have to look at the fact, and I'll take it from Stone Cold Steve Austin himself. People got something called bills, and them bills come paramount. And at some point, you're gonna put your pride and your morality aside to go make that money. And that's
okay.
All I'm
but
saying.
what I'm going to say to that is yes, and I looked it up. Vince McMahon has a $2 billion net worth, but he's not made of money. And like as we have discussed on this show, making a wrestling company, a successful wrestling company, is expensive.
Okay, here's my thing. And he goes,
guys, let me finish a goddamn point. Jesus Christ.
Go ahead.
Like I understand 100% where y'all are coming from, but y'all are like for what y'all have happened to happen, so many dominoes have to fall in his way, and I just don't see it. One thing is, I think he's going to go to jail for sex trafficking. I 100% believe he is going to federal prison for sex trafficking. 100% believe that.
Okay.
So I think right now all Vince McMahon is focusing on trying to beat the rap. I don't think he is thinking about building a new business.
And we'll say it again. Vince McMahon knows how to get out.
Yeah, I heard you. I said that. I was just wanting to finish my point.
Did it be round 2? This would be round 2 with the federal government. He won round 1.
Exactly.
And he TKO'd their ass in round 1.
And you know what? He did beat him once, but you know what the federal government's conviction record is? Do y'all know what it is? 98% convicted.
On what?
On everything. On everything. The federal government has a 98% conviction rating. Period. I'm saying 98% means some get out, Tone. But I'm saying the chances of him beating them twice are slim to none.
You think
Gotti beat him 5-6 times in a row. The only way they got John Gotti was because of the taps in his house. That's the only way they got him. Other than that, he was kicking their ass every time.
Yep.
And you don't know that they don't have Vince's tap.
So you're not giving Vince a 0% chance. You're giving that man a 2% chance.
I'm saying there's a chance.
How many times has this man?
I won't even give him a 2% chance because he's already done it once. So the chance goes down.
Okay. Well, we'll see. But all I'm saying is this: if he beats this, he ain't gonna just lay it on the wayside and not.
I agree with you, but I don't think he's thinking about that right now. I think right now he's thinking about how does he beat this.
Well, from what I read,
yeah, I've read it too, and you've seen the people report it, and we've talked about the people and shit on Ringside News, who was the first people to report it. So. You got to take that with a huge grain of goddamn salt because Ringside News posts a lot of garbage.
True. But like I said, you you read between the lines, and if you've been watching wrestling as long as me and Will have,
got it,
how these
dude.
play,
I understand what you're saying. I'm saying that sometimes it eventually it will stick. Eventually, it's going to stick, and it's going to happen. And I think this will be it. But we need to move on because we've spent 20 minutes on this.
We'll see.
Shit, y'all got me forgotten what's next on the lineup. God damn it.
He's a youngster. He's got to go back and look.
He got to go back and look at stuff. That's all that is.
No, I threw that in because I remembered when y'all brought up Vince McMahon, and then I forgot what was next.
Now the one thing me and you, George, will always agree on with Vince, he a piece of shit. I ain't gonna say he a piece of shit. That's the one thing.
And maybe that's why maybe that's why I'm so staunch on he's done, because I don't want to see him anywhere near the business. I agree with you on that. It's just the fact the man is so connected and got so much freaking money and connected. So was P. Diddy.
If anybody can do it, it's him.
Whoa.
We're gonna talk about P. Diddy.
Compare the two.
We cannot compare the two.
That is two. No, that is two totally.
That's beyond the pale.
No. They're both going down for sex trafficking. I'm just saying. That's what both of them are in trouble for. I'm just saying.
But neither one of them has been charged.
P. Diddy is gonna be charged. It is gonna happen. They don't raid someone. The feds don't raid someone's house when they're not gonna charge them.
And they didn't raid Vince McMahon's house either.
No, but they've raided Diddy's.
We'll see. We'll see because we're speaking. We need to start cleaning up what we're talking. So and make sure that we're protected. So all this is hypothetical. And all this is alleged. There you go. Hypothetical. All these, ladies and gentlemen, out there in TV land, this is all hypotheticals, stipulation, and alleged. So we gotta protect now. So we gotta make sure that we don't get cut off the FCC when he's talking about this man. Because I don't want him to count. I don't want neither one of these guys canceling my ass. Hell no.
Anyway,
I need my job.
Did y'all see there was a picture going around that Jordan Grace versus Natalya for the women's title at Slammiversary?
Let's go.
I've heard, from what I have been able to find, it's 100% fan made fake. But
I love to see it. I love to see it.
I would love it. I would love to see that. Watch Jordan Grace. Jordan Grace, the way she played, what she did at the Rumble. Oh yeah, I would love to see it.
Jordan can go, and Natty will put her over too.
Oh yes, quickly, yes.
So next thing is Dax Harwood. Did y'all see his response to Eric Bischoff? Did y'all see this?
No, I didn't see that. I heard about it.
He basically, I don't remember the whole thing. Bischoff went just off this weekend. Just tweet after tweet after tweet, just bashing AEW. And Harwood basically said that he was paid by WWE to just bury AEW.
No, everybody knows Bischoff has his own mind, and he's been in the game so long, and he ran WCW, so he knows what the fuck he's talking about.
But
he has nothing to do with it.
I don't agree with that, because we have all said, you too, Big Tone, is that he is stuck in the past in a place that isn't as relevant as it is now in wrestling. And I don't
said that about Cornette.
I've said that about Bischoff too. Like, and I know Will said it. If you haven't said it, I know Will said it too. Like, it's all Bishop talks about anymore. It's all his shows have anything to do about. It's all anything he says anymore. He doesn't talk about anything else.
Excuse me, because AEW is always in the fucking news. And he's gonna look at it with a microscope because he's been in the business so long.
So why not look at WWE in the microscope the same way? Make it even.
The same thing. He did the same thing to the E. When they fuck up, he'll let them know.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He doesn't talk anything about the E anymore. He doesn't say negative, a positive, nothing. All he talks about is AEW. That's all he talks about.
Because they do.
But that's what I'm.
Stupid shit.
But so they're doing stupid shit. But you were just agreeing with what they're doing.
Well, hold on.
Let me pump the brakes. The reason why, to me, this is my own personal opinion, the reason why Bischoff is on them so bad is because he sees WCW in them. He sees the way they're doing and certain things that the shit they're doing.
Thank you.
They're going to do the same thing WCW did when he was running it. That's why he's going off on them like that.
Hey, Monet Talk, appreciate you being here.
Yes. Thank you, Monet.
So, man, I appreciate you being here. But my thing is this, and I just got done saying it. When you're in the news, up punching or whatever is out there, people have a right to react to it. Now, you may not agree with the opinion, but people have a right to react to it.
I don't disagree with.
And it seems to me, AEW's got a lot to say, and people are going to react to it. Now, right now, WWE has been like Obama. Been like Michelle. What's that saying that she said? You come low, you come high, we go low. Whatever that saying is, but that seems to be what the case WWE is doing right now, because they're just taking whatever shot AEW has to give to them. And if you're in the news all the time, if I do something and I'm in the news, if I do something, I say a hot take on this show, and somebody wants to go and comment on it, that's their right. That's their right. And as long as you stay within the news, or as long as you really have something to say, whether you agree with it or not, because I agree with you, Monet Talk. I agree with you. Yeah, okay. Hypocritical. That's fine. Doesn't have a positive thing to say about AEW. That's fine. But the man has a right to react to it.
But that's exactly my point. If he were just hitting on the moments when AEW goes high or hits WWE, that'd be one thing. But Monet Talks is right. Everything he says, there is nothing that he can find about AEW that's positive. Every single thing is negative. And I'm sorry, that's just not true. And it's people like him and people like Cornette that cause these toxic motherfuckers on the internet, because they see that and they think it's okay.
So you're saying that if people have an issue, and I agree with you, Josie. I'm agreeing. The man is, both of them are antiquated, old school thinking. I agree with you on that part.
So do I.
And I agree with Monet Talks that the man's a hypocrite. Agree with that. But you still can't take it away from him. It's a free country. You got a right to say whatever you want to say.
I agree with that. I'm just saying, like, his show has just turned into a bash AEW all the time. That's all he can do. Hang on, Big Tone.
No, go ahead.
Like, that's all he does. Even Cornette on occasion has positive things to say about AEW and what they're doing.
Let me ask you this, Joe. If he did that to WWE, would you care?
If it was constant, yes, I would care about anybody bashing a product just to constantly bash a product because it's what his fans like and it gives him more money. Like, yes, I don't care what company it is. Like, it's just annoying that there was a time just a couple of years ago, Will, I liked Bischoff. Mm-hmm. I enjoy Bischoff. Mm-hmm. The whole thing that has turned me off of Bischoff is that he's just turned into this toxicness of, I can't stand AEW. And y'all might be right. Some of it might be he wants to. I don't believe it's all out of goodwill. I think some of it is bad will. I think there's a little bit there that maybe he wanted a job and Tony said no. Things are true. And I could be wrong on that, but we all know Eric is a vindictive asshole and has been his entire career.
I think he's seeing this as an opportunity not only to downplay AEW, but to also get clicks and views. And that makes the social media machine keep turning and turning and turning.
That's something I will agree with you on.
And I think that's what Eric is doing. I think that's what he's doing.
I will agree with you on that, but I'm just saying, like, I can't stand the man anymore. Like, I can't. Will, here, I'll give you a thing. Cornette, Bischoff.
Oh, I'll turn that around. I'll turn that all day long. All day long. I'll turn that all day. The only reason why I would turn that all day long is because I don't think Eric is as bad as a person. I don't think he's as bad as a person as Cornette.
I can't argue with you there. I can't argue with you.
Jimmy is off his rocker. Okay, when it comes to AEW, as long as Jimmy's been in it, he's just off his rocker. Like, he loves talking shit about AEW.
But again, Big Tone, even Cornette on occasion has positive things to say.
Oh, I've heard him talk good about AEW at times.
Yeah, when he sees something good about AEW, he'll put it out there.
Yeah, he'll put it out there for real.
I have to agree. Bischoff will sit there and just talk complete shit and shit on their game.
And some of it is because Conrad's a fanboy, and it's the dynamic. And I get it.
No. Let me pump your brakes right there. That's your problem right there. It's Conrad.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I'm about to say.
That's the problem. It's like Brian Last with Cornette.
Oh God.
No, I don't disagree with you.
Conrad
yes.
With Eric Bischoff. It's those two that fuck everything up.
Monday, I agree with you on that too. I think a lot of these podcasters out there have a position or a high relationship with WWE to keep that product in goodwill and in good talks. When in fact, WWE, they have a lot of issues of their own that nobody else wants to call them out on.
And I get that. Will, that was my point in the beginning of this whole argument. Was WWE is not perfect.
No.
Even now with Triple H, there's still a lot of issues. Let's talk about the fact that you got a 3-hour show that there's still never more than an hour worth of wrestling on.
Yep.
Let's talk about the fact that you have then another 2-hour show that there's never even more than an hour of wrestling on.
Yep.
And let's talk about the fact that AEW in 3 shows beats your total time of wrestling 4 times.
Just remember,
and again, I'm going to come right back to you. I just want to fit. Again, we've said this 1,000 times. Sports entertainment, pro wrestling, even though they follow under the same umbrella, they're different. Yep. The WWE is its own machine, its own thing. It's just different.
Yep. And Monet is so right, because the people in the pocket all these people that have in their pocket, they're never gonna call WWE on their bullshit. Never ever. All these fans on Facebook, the IWC, never call WWE on their bullshit, and they got a bunch of bullshit to be called out on.
E-drones.
They got a bunch of bullshit to be called out on. Any wrestling company got shit to be called out on.
Yeah, no one's perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
Let's talk about another.
Impact. We all love Impact, but they got bullshit that you need to.
Actually, Will, you brought it up. Let me say it. Here's some right here. The pay-per-view buys for Rebellion, 500.
What?
500.
Ridiculous.
No, that is the reported number. The pay-per-view vibes for Rebellion were 500. And so I saw someone saying, well, isn't it on TNA Plus? And I was like, no, that's not how they do their pay-per-views. They do a monthly special TNA Plus pay-per-view, but that was not one of them. So 500
make no sense.
Pay-per-view sales. If it's me, it's feedback from D'Amore. It's feedback from the D'Amore firing.
There you go.
It's the first pay-per-view. It was the last one that had any of his fingerprints on it.
Yep. And they really think people won't go. People voice out with money.
Yeah.
They voice out with money.
Yeah.
And when you let him go, people said, "Hey, I'm not buying this. I'm not showing support," and that's exactly what happened.
And we still don't know why they let Scott D'Amore.
I think it's because he tried to buy him out.
Yeah,
and they didn't want to sell.
Yeah, I think so too.
They just they didn't trust him.
Though. They fired that man out of ego.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it was too.
Stupid. You're doing good. You're doing great. You getting better.
You know why? Will, I think it even goes further to ego than more than people think. It's the fact that Scott was the one getting all the kudos, congratulations, everything for the build. Yeah, Anthem didn't do shit. Anthem didn't do the one thing Anthem could have done to help them and make themselves look better was let them off their goddamn network and get them a better TV deal.
Exactly.
That's right.
I mean, I can't disagree with that.
I agree with that too. Good point.
I can't disagree with that.
Good point.
And then to add to that, Monet, then WWE tried to make a partnership with All Japan and fucked that up.
Yep.
Well, no. They had back in the day. They had that. I'm talking just this year. They tried. They sent Charlie Dempsey, William Regal's son, over there. No, I know.
Like they tried to get a bond going this year and fucked it up.
Yeah, but it was already fucked. Before they sent Charlie Dempsey over there with All Japan. Everybody, Monet, you're absolutely right. Everybody knows WWE is selfish, especially with that shit. They want international rights to everything. It doesn't fucking matter. If they can't have it, they'll sabotage it or they'll fuck it up in some way. But with All Japan, their relationship with WWE has been tarnished since the early 70s.
I know. Well, okay, let me rephrase. They tried to rekindle relationship because there was something else they did. They brought in someone.
Misawa.
Yeah.
They brought in Misawa.
Yeah.
That's what pissed All Japan off is when WWE at the time WWF bring in Misawa.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about now, to this year. What
that's not going to happen. That's never going to fucking happen.
No.
He's talking about this right here, Josie.
Yes, thank you.
That ain't never gonna happen.
That'll never fucking happen.
Yeah.
No.
It's gonna be people like Natalia is who it's gonna be if it happens. But what I'm talking about is the Charlie Dempsey thing.
It would probably be Trini.
Ooh, yeah.
Trini would probably go back.
That's not the pull they want. They want a TNA person versus a WWE homegrown, not someone that's been there before. Because the problem is then WWE is going to want to refer to her as Naomi, and TNA is going to want to refer to her as Trinity. And then that's going to be an issue. I'm telling you, if it's going to be someone like Natalia, who's made her whole career in WWE, and versus Jordan Gace, who's made her whole career in TNA, that's what it's going to be.
Okay.
I just don't see them.
It'll be Wrestle War all over again.
And you kind of got the Trinity Jordan thing at Rumble. That happened.
That's true.
All right. What else? There was more. Shit.
Keep it coming. Let's get some good stuff.
Yeah, we're having a logical debate. Everybody has their own point, so what do we do?
The draft. That was the big thing. The WWE Draft.
The draft
was thank you. What was
sorry as hell.
Shit was
trash.
To me, they need to do away with drafting SmackDown Raw. Just make it about NXT. That was the best part to see people like
what you do?
Mello.
Braun Strowman? Really?
Call call-ups were going to happen. If they did the call-ups like they usually do, just bring them up out of nowhere. That's better.
Oh my God.
I agree. I don't think the draft is necessary at all because the thing is you're going to see one of these guys from SmackDown on Raw within 2 weeks.
This is just stupid. It's like you don't need a draft to trade talent.
But then, and then the thing that bothers me more is they didn't even trade the goddamn talent. Talent.
Nope, they didn't. Nope, they didn't. You right.
I think Monet is right. It needed to happen because it needed to happen. Like, basically,
they did it because Tony Khan was on Wednesday at the NFL draft. That's why.
No, I don't think it was even because of that. I think because they did the draft this same time last year. I think it's just what they do after Mania now. I think
But it hasn't been right since when it first happened during not the Attitude Era, but
Ruthless Aggression. That was the best.
Yeah.
The first 4 years of that were the best.
Bro, but fellas, we traded Apollo Crew. Really? Really? Apollo Crews? That man had done nothing.
I mean, he was killing it in NXT for a while.
Then he got to the main roster. He got that stupid gimmick.
No. He's been back. He's been back in NXT going for the North American title.
But still.
Why?
I mean, you got it. I mean, Baron Corbin had rebuilt himself in NXT.
We care about Apollo Crews for what? We care about.
When he was Uhaa Nation, when he was Uhaa Nation out there on the Indies, he was the shit.
He was.
When he goes to the E, they're gonna change him up and fuck him up. And what has happened?
I think that's why WB got. I think WB. That's why WB wanted to get him off the indie scene because he was making so much noise off the indie scene. He was taking away from what they were trying to do, and now that they got him and they just packaged him wrongly, and that was it. Apollo Crews, though, we don't care about Apollo Crews. No.
Yeah, the draft to me was just it was pointless. No one moved. It was like I actually watched SmackDown and some of Raw, and I was just like, I'll give Carmelo props though. He gave Melo looked great in that match with Cody. That was a good match. That was a good match. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
That was a great match. I enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed that match, but other than that, nah, man.
Anybody planning to watch Backlash France?
No.
Now, listen, we got to see what the card fills out. The card's going to fill out. Most likely, no.
Because Monet, I agree with you on that because when you learn the WWE way,
yes,
and you get behind that so-called creative control shit,
yes,
it's gonna mess you up.
Yes,
it's gonna mess you up because they don't give you the ability to go out there and be you, and that's the difference with sports entertainment and what AEW is doing. AEW is giving these guys a chance to go out there and make it and build their own characters on their own merit. WWE, you got to do it their way. And that's what's messing up a lot of this indie talent, and it's a damn shame.
And that's why most of the people that are successful in WWE are the people who've been there their entire career.
Hell, go look at Dolph Ziggler. They were just letting that man linger and hang, linger and hang.
He leaves, wins the NWG, the New Japan belt, one of the New Japan belts. Just went down to Mexico, won the Mega Championship down to Mexico, last weekend?
Last weekend. Mm-hmm. I think it was last weekend. Yeah.
So he has 3 belts from 3 different promotions.
Yeah.
Kicking ass.
Now that motherfucker Ultimo Dragon.
Well, that was shit. There will never be.
There'll be no Ultimo Dragon.
Nobody will ever have those 9 belts. Sorry.
No.
Nobody will ever have it again.
No.
Him and Thunder Liger are the only ones to have it. They'll never happen again.
No, it won't.
So, real quick, before we jump out of here, I do want to talk what y'all thinking about this Double or Nothing card that's built in so far. Just for the sheer fact, Roderick Strong versus Will Ospreay for the international. I'm telling you, bro.
Y'all know I love Will Ospreay. I love Will Ospreay. Y'all know that.
Me and Stax kind of had an argument about this last week because he could see Roddy winning. I 100%. But I want to come back to this, but I'm going to comment on this real quick. Doesn't Backlash always feel that way after Mania?
It does.
Fact.
Oh, that's fast right there, Monet.
They just never do a good Backlash anymore. It used to be the reboot. Like, it's the new year of wrestling, and it's not like that anymore.
No, not at all. Trash.
But, yeah, Roddy Strong, Will Ospreay. Are we about to crown a new international champion?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. I just don't, like, you got Ospreay on a winning streak. He's not losing to Roddy Strong. I love Roddy. I think this is going to be a banger of a match. I think it's going to be phenomenal. Honestly.
You think it's going to be better than him and Bryan Danielson at Dynasty?
Probably not. I mean, I don't give it a 6 1/4 star like Meltzer, but I will say that was one of the greatest matches I'd ever seen.
That's
it was a
hard to top.
Badass match.
That's
like these people shitting on it that saying it wasn't even like 2 stars is like it was a top 5 of all time match, like easy.
That was a banger.
And shout out to both of them out to both those guys for bringing it the way they did.
Killed it.
They destroyed that man. They killed it.
So yeah, I'm excited. I think Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher might be pulling away from the Callis family too.
After you saw that reaction after he left, after Don Callis left after that interview, and they were looking at you like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I was thinking, Toad. I was talking to Stacks about this. Could we be about to see a
tag team?
A UE connection coming back? Are we about to see a United Empire AEW style?
I see it.
Woo!
They're planting the seeds for it. If they do it right, they can pull it off. If they do it right, and
I mean,
backstage can set it up right, they can.
Let me say this. They have done it well with Bullet Club Gold. They have done it well with Bullet Club Gold.
That is true. They have. Now,
I was
thing with that and just
the new
roll organically. Oh, that would be perfect.
The new unified trios champions, baby. Because they want to kick
daddy ass. They had to kick that dad's ass real quick, to make it look good.
Ooh, that match is gonna be good too.
Yeah. So that was the next one. Willow finally, get this woman off my screen on the talking. I am so tired of hearing Sasha Banks promo every freaking week. Can we put her in the ring?
Willow about to turn heel, y'all.
Yeah, I think it's coming. I 100% think it's coming. I think Willow is who attacked Mercedes.
Oh my God!
And Monet, I agree with you. Heel Mercedes is the best Mercedes, but I don't think we're gonna get that yet.
No,
I think we're getting a Willow turn.
Ooh wee! Did you see her the other night on Ooh wee, boy? Oh,
I'm happy she's champ. I'm gonna celebrate it for the minute. I don't think it's gonna last long. I think she loses to Monet, but.
Well, that's coming.
She looking better than an all-star scrambler from Waffle House. I'm telling you.
Yes, sir. Oh, boy, did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Willow is
boy.
chef's kiss, baby.
Yes.
And then it won't be announced till tomorrow night, but tomorrow night we'll find out Swerve Strickland's opponent at Double or Nothing.
Swerve? He beat Joe clean?
Yes, bring my girl in the mix.
So, we talk.
Camille come in after Sasha Banks wins that title.
Yeah, Camilla come in at Double or Nothing. Yeah.
Yep.
Monet, we talked about Camilla at the beginning. Will is a huge Camilla fan. And again, I have to say it. AEW's women's division is one of the top divisions in pro wrestling, period, right now.
You can make that argument.
It is.
Can I say it? I'll say it. It's the top women's division in wrestling right now.
Top division or women's division?
Top women's division.
I agree with that. I'm saying division, period.
Yeah, the top women's division and one of the top divisions out there.
Yeah.
But it's the best women's division by far. If you're judging it by talent, and even if those girls come back even if Charlotte come back, even if Red come back, I still think AEW's women's division is better.
Well,
Yeah.
you look at who's.
Kenny's decided to get off of his little playgirl, this little Chinese girl fetish, and put some real women in there and start whooping ass. Now Kenny's doing much
Well,
better.
you look at who's on screen right now. Right now, you've got stories going on with Thunder Rosa, Deonna Purrazzo, Toni Storm. Who did she just finish with? Fuck. She just finished with Thunder Rosa. But then you got Chris Statlander, you've got Willow, you've got Monet, and then you've got the girls that are just sitting back there. You've got Camille, you've got Baker, you've got Hayter, who should be healed soon.
Kenny's doing it. See, Kenny's got it. I don't know if it's Kenny or everybody.
Who's running the women's division now?
He's got it in his head now. Okay, he's like the puppy, the small girl winning. We gotta get rid of that shit because ain't nobody liking it.
Big time. You remember back in the day when Fit Finley was running the women for WWE?
Yeah.
You remember that back in the day? This is what this is shaping. This is what this is shaping up to be.
If he does it right, yes.
Yes. So last thing I want to talk about is the announcement. I sent it to y'all right before the show. There will be an announcement of the highest ranking AEW official while Tony is not there. Again, I think this is a great day, Toad, as you said in our chat, like for the storyline and the way they're running it, this had to happen. You had to bring someone in. Who we thinking it's going to be?
Shivani.
Oh, I don't think so, but that's an interesting one.
Hey, I got
Monet is with me.
It could be Scott. It could be Scott. It could be.
That is why. Oh my God!
Can you imagine what Impact was shit bricks if that happened?
I didn't think of that.
I'm telling you, there's three people I'm thinking of: Scott, Kenny.
I was thinking Kenny. Kenny was number 2 on my list.
Sting.
No, I don't think Sting.
I don't think Sting.
Sting is probably the less likely. The only reason I really think Sting is he said in his final press conference he's willing to do things, but he did say he didn't want an on-screen role, and I think this person's going to have an on-screen role.
You don't think so? You don't think Danielson?
No, I think Danielson is too busy doing his dream matches. Yeah, I think Kenny is booked. It's in Montreal tomorrow, so Kenny's already been announced that he's going to be there.
See, but they might do it right since it's in Montreal. They might pull it off.
Man,
if
it's Scott, I will literally scream. Like I will pop so hard because yes. I don't even care if he's not like, please, Tony, don't bring him in and just make him a TV character. Put him as an ED. He needs to be. And I 100% agree. 100%. 100% agree. If it is Scott, TNA is done for. Because I'm sorry, Scott has 100%, 1,000% right to be bitter and want revenge.
Quick question. If it is Scott, Don Callis is bringing him in.
I forgot about that. I forgot that Don was EVP with him in the beginning until he became an on-screen character with AEW.
Man, come on now.
Oh, come on. Let it be Scott, baby. Let it be Scott.
Now, if they do that, it's over.
It's over, TNA. It's over. You can't bounce back from that. You already.
They will never recover.
They will never recover from that.
Oh, I want it to be Scott so badly. Oh, I want it. I'm gonna be so like. Don't get me wrong. I think Kenny would be great for that role too. I think Kenny would do it well.
Well, in order to get back, if it's in storyline to get back at the Bucks, yes. But the thing is, if they bring Scott in, nobody knows anything what Scott could do except for Don Callis.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and that's my thing.
Happens, think about it. If that happens, Don Callis' family will start doing NWO shit.
And go back and look at the fans who were pissed off Now you come in the AEW side.
Yeah.
Oh.
You get all those fans.
Oh,
And you have an in with so many TNA talent when contracts come up. Because they love Scott.
Yes.
They love him.
and they told Anthem, anywhere, if we get the opportunity, anywhere Scott is, we're gone.
Yeah. So, please let it be Scott. God damn it.
Monet Talks, thank you. We appreciate that.
Well, that was my 3. My 3 was Scott, Sting, or
No, we ain't ready for that conversation yet, Monet.
Yeah. Only because it'd be another hour-long conversation. And it pains me to say, because, man, 3 months ago, all TNA needed was a better TV deal.
Josie,
and they could have been battling for the last year.
Josie, we talked about it. They were hanging with the AEW.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, they would have passed AEW as number 2 had they had a better TV deal last year. 2023 was one of TNA's, or Impact at the time, 2023 was one of Impact's best years ever.
I agree.
They were selling out shows every time because they were only doing about 5,000 people shows. Their TV tapings were selling out. Like, they had one of their best years, and then they fired the man that made it happen. And I'm telling you, AEW, Tony Khan, I know you don't listen to this shit, but feel me. This is a good decision, but don't just bring this man in as an on-screen character. He needs to have some kind of creative control.
He needs to have that control.
Fucking genius.
If Tony does this and he does it right and gives that power to Scott DeMore.
I agree. I tried to watch it recently. It's not.
If it's Scott, if they give him that power, they better watch the fuck out. TNA.
Yeah, I agree.
We're also looking at the fact that Tony Khan gets a break.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if this whole storyline. I mean, people have been complaining, saying that they need some fresh. Maybe the whole storyline was planned from the beginning to give Tony a break. He really, they're 5 years in. He really hasn't taken a break in 5 years. He also runs the Jaguars. He also runs his soccer team. Like, you can talk shit on the man all you want, but he's kind of
better.
He's kind of crazy the way he works.
You bring Scott in, and his creative flow. You imagine what he brings to AEW.
5 years. If you put Scott in control in 5 years, I'm not saying the company, but the product is competitive with WWE.
I was just about to say that.
Yep.
You let Scott DeMore run it the way he did, and just go. They'll be fucking with the E. They'll be knocking on the E's door within. Well, yeah, I give them 5 years, but the difference is they got to get a better TV deal because
that's the thing.
With the E going to Netflix, and they basically can do whatever the fuck they want. It's gonna be. No, they'll never split the bread.
No, I don't see it happening.
I don't see it happening either.
The only reason that was even a thought was to keep Punk away from the Bucks.
Yeah,
exactly. That's the only reason why.
I agree with you. I give it 5 years. Now, however, AEW's got to be in negotiations for their new deal right now because their contract's up in 2024. I got a
quick question on that topic right there. You think they'll take the USA spot?
We've discussed this, and it's a possibility. I don't know. The thing is NBC still owns WWE's library till 2026. So I don't know how
Peacock,
if they're.
No. I'm saying Peacock has nothing to do with this. They're under.
Just because of same companies, I don't know if there's contract stipulations there or if they can. WWE's smart with their contracts. They may have a thing in their library contract with Peacock and NBC saying they can't have another wrestling company on the network.
Mm-hmm.
So
sure. But hypothetically speaking, if they got that deal after Raw goes to Netflix, And SmackDown, I don't know, is SmackDown staying on?
Till their contract is up. But Fox has already said they're not renewing. They didn't see the benefit they wanted to see.
There's no benefit for them to renew.
Well, they didn't see the commercial benefit because in the time that Fox has had it, up until about a year ago, SmackDown and Raw were on a big downturn.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, because that's when Vince and all that shit started.
Yeah, that's when he stepped down for the second time. Or no, that's when the company sales was announced in April. But that's when he stepped back in. So yeah, we will. Yeah, so that's another thing. Fox, ESPN, TNT are all supposed to be banding together to create one like giant app. So like we've said for years, Will, what AEW needs more than anything is some kind of streaming service. I'm tired of paying 50. Like me and Stax have been splitting Dynasty or splitting pay-per-views, and we didn't rent Dynasty because it was just like, it's going to be a banger pay-per-view, but like I just don't want to pay $50. And I knew that Double or Nothing was coming up, and Double or Nothing is like that's one of their big ones. Like that, I knew it's one of them.
In this economy,
yeah,
you have to show your pay-per-views are worth the money.
And they are usually AEW's always usually are because they pack so much, too much, honestly. Like 7 or 8 20 to 30-minute matches in a 5 to 6 hour pay-per-view.
But they made you choose this time.
Well, just because
they made you choose this time.
Yeah, they did. There was but it really came to the point like Tone said, it came down to Double or Nothing has the chance to be huge. It's their 5-year anniversary there. Right. They're back to the same venue that they were at 5 years ago.
So you're looking at
I'm looking at there. You're actually, Will, you're right. You're right. There's more value there personally to me than Dynasty was. Yes.
Right.
Yes. Right. So yeah. I think if they want to go to a 12 pay-per-view system, I agree. And last thing, I know we said we need to get out of here, but have y'all seen that AEW has been moving some of their shows? Forbidden Door is no longer going to be at Arthur Ashe. They moved to a smaller venue. This Double or Nothing is actually going to be at the first venue that they were at, which is a smaller venue. It's like a 10,000 person venue. So I think Tony is finally realizing it's time to come back down. He's we don't need to do large venues all the time.
Save that money.
Save
that money. Take that money and invest it in your talent.
I mean, Forbes did evaluate him as a $2 billion company a couple of weeks ago. So, but a lot of people got to understand. Some people are saying that that's bullshit. They can't make that money. What that's looking at is how much is their TV deal worth? How much are all their contracts worth? How much is their touring schedule worth? Yeah, man, Monet Tykes, I like you.
I think, and there's no reason to think that AEW won't be here. There's no reason to think that. These people now, they just don't see the difference. They just don't understand the difference. There's a huge difference between the E and there's a huge difference between AEW. And these people in IWC don't see that.
Well, and what it comes down to, Will, is a lot of people in the U.S., most people in the U.S. grew up in a style of wrestling that is very, I heard it today, male soap opera.
Yes.
It is the male equivalent to, I just hadn't heard it in a while. I heard it a lot as a kid. I hadn't heard it said that way in a while. But it is the equivalent to a male soap opera. Right. You got the fighting, but the drama and the, like last night on SmackDown, it looks like Liv and Dominic are having an affair. I don't know if anybody saw that, but it looks like they're putting that story together. So where that's what WWE.
Hey, I go sit here in front though. That's smart as hell.
Yeah, it is
that's
good story. Good story.
And if I'm real, I'll bring her. And if I'm the E, I'm bringing her out there at least one time. I don't care if she's arm in the sling or whatnot.
Yeah.
Bring her out there one time and whoop her ass.
What they do. Yep. Whoop her ass one good time.
I agree with that.
Don't fuck around.
Yeah, that was smart.
Real quick.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Put up Monet's last comment. They announced this today that Dwayne's company, 7 Buck Productions, and another company are working together to make a who failed WCW. And my first, Monet, you and me, like we are like right here.
I don't think it was just Eric, but I think a large part of it was Eric.
Yeah. Quick question.
A lot of people want to blame AOL.
No, that wasn't
because
AOL.
they say they didn't want wrestling content anymore.
No, that's not AOL. That's the fact. That's mismanagement. That's not AOL's fault.
No, that was WCW. That was Bischoff's fault. Period.
Yeah, that wasn't. That wasn't AOL's fault.
That was their fuck up.
Bischoff let I ain't gonna be disrespectful, but he let the wrestlers run it. He let Kevin Nash run it. That's just wrong.
Yeah. And see that and I don't want to get into this whole argument. There's my big difference with AEW to WCW. The wrestlers are not running the product yet. Like that to me was the biggest.
Stress that word. No, stress that word.
I said yet.
Don't mean
I don't. But Tone, I don't think that that's going to happen in AEW.
Particularly if you bring Scotty in.
I don't think
they bring Scotty in. No reason. None.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to let them take control. So that's why I don't think AEW will be WCW as much as people think so. Here's my core.
But the thing is, when it came to the NWO, he felt like he's the one that run that from. He's the one that invented that, even though New Japan had that first.
Yeah.
So he was just playing on what New Japan did, brought it to WCW and put his spin on it, and focused on them.
The NWO was really the Bullet Club before.
Here's the thing, though.
New Japan redesigned it as the Bullet Club.
But here's the thing, though. Yes, give that group props. They were the quote unquote thing that put WCW over, but it was also the depth of WCW at the same time. Because when you take the NWO and you make it to where it runs rampant everywhere else, you got people in the NWO that has no business in the NWO.
And that's why they blew up too quick.
Yeah.
Too many people that blew up too quick, and they destroyed the storyline.
Yep. All right. So last question, as promised. So WWE is not going to let The Rock make a movie and say that it's all Eric's fault. I just don't believe it. So who are they going to blame?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
Crockett.
Yeah.
I think they blame Crockett. I think they blame AOL Time Warner. And AOL Time Warner. They won't blame Dusty because of Cody. They won't blame Dusty because of Cody.
Cody even said it. Cody has said that if it wasn't for him, his dad was on top too much, too long. And he well, it was a lot of people that said it, including and Cody agreed with him. Dusty was on top too long. If he would have took himself off the top.
Yeah, that's why Cody made the "I won't go for the title" rule. Yeah,
exactly. That's why he did.
But
so he has admitted that.
I think it's Crockett and AOL Time Warner. I think they put a lot on AOL Time Warner just because it's been said for a while that when
the only reason though I wouldn't put it on AOL completely AOL is because you had pro wrestlers who were not qualified to be in those spots.
100%.
No way in the world. Kevin
Nash should not have been lead booker. No. Hulk Hogan should not have had veto creative power control. Monet, we go live every Tuesday, 9 Central, 10 Eastern.
You had people making 6 figures sitting at home.
Iron Sheik?
Yep. You had people at home.
Did y'all see at the house? Just recently, the pay sheet for WCW dropped. I read it. And man, what they were paying some of these guys is crazy.
And a lot of them sat at home because they had nothing for them to do.
Prince
Oh,
IPA,
last thing.
Mhm.
Did y'all see Bill Goldberg's comments this past week about that he talked to Tony Khan and that he wouldn't work for AEW because it's too cheesy? And then Khan came out this week with one of the best responses I've ever seen. Khan, it was a very thought out.
Oh, of course. Of course,
Good.
Hogan was a big part of it. Of course.
Oh yeah, a good response, and he basically just said, I don't know why Bill would say that. We had multiple talks. I would have loved to bring Bill in. It just hasn't worked out. I'm sorry. Bill Goldberg is a fucking joke. I swear, someone said it today in one of the chats. I swear he thinks pro wrestling is real. I think he thinks the whole thing is real. The way that he bashes his head against the locker to get himself pumped up. I just, you know he believes that he really has a 126 match streak.
Well, you need to play him some call-in show fan backs as how many me and Will and a couple of people went for hours talking about how Gold Bitch is.
Yep.
Oh, I can't stand. I've heard he's a good man, a good person, but I cannot stand him as a wrestler.
Why do you think I call him Gold Bitch?
He's been green his whole life. It wasn't for the fact that they figured out they could put him in 5-minute matches and let the other person do all the work and make him look good, he would have never been over.
No, that's bullshit. Because when William Regal stretched him out on TBS live on TV, they figured out that's the only way he's going to do it with the 3-minute matches because he couldn't last.
Yeah, well, and I just recently heard that William did that because Goldberg was being a bitch in the backstage area.
Well, it was also had to be that way because Bill couldn't hold up his end of the bargain in that match. That man didn't know how to wrestle.
Yeah.
He didn't know how to. He didn't know how to wrestle
he
that style.
tries to go too hard, too fast, and he blows up.
I think
Kevin Sullivan set it up. Kevin Sullivan set it up so he only have 2 3-minute matches. Get him in there, get him out. But but that is true. Regal even said it in his memoirs. Bill Goldberg got too big for his vision, so I had to stretch his ass in front of everybody to show him up.
And the thing about it is, if you look, somebody go back and tell me what was the best Bill Goldberg match. What match made him iconic? Don't worry, I'll wait. Even his matches with Brock didn't make him iconic.
Bro, the matches with Brock made him look even worse.
Yeah.
They made Brock look great.
No, because everybody knew from Jump Street Brock would kill him.
Yep.
Everybody knew that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Even when they made the match, they like Brock and Goldberg. Please, Brock will swipe the floor with him.
Yep. I like him as a dude. I like him as a dude. I think he's a good ambassador for pro wrestling to a certain extent. He talks good about the business for the most part, which was I was sort of kind of shocked about these comments with AEW because mostly he talks about the business in a good light. But in terms of him being this big, huge dude, this big, huge superstar that wasn't manufactured by WCW and it just carried. Nah, man.
To me, the comments are him trying to get back on the WWE good graces and get another part-time contract.
No, it's the fact that that's probably true. But everybody knows, if you're old school like me and Will, everybody knows he was the only thing WCW had that they built themselves.
Yep. Because Booker came in already, because everybody else came in and already had fanfare.
Yep.
Thanks to Kevin Sullivan.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for Kevin Sullivan, we would never have heard of Bill Goldberg.
Nope.
Period.
Nope.
So he owes his career to Kevin Sullivan.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that's. One
more thing. All I want to say is Jacob Fatu, Friday night.
He coming.
Oh, you think that's who? You think that's who Triple H was talking about? Who will have the right to pick his own?
He's coming.
Jacob's coming. He's supposed to come Friday.
I heard a lot of people say MJF. I was like, it's not going to be MJF. No, MJF is going back to AEW.
He had shoulder surgery. You won't see MJF for a couple months.
Yeah, I think MJF makes his return at All In.
I do too.
He ain't leaving AEW. He ain't leaving that schedule. He ain't leaving that money. He ain't leaving that
He
schedule.
loves fucking with Tony Khan, so nah,
He ain't leaving that schedule.
Well, and I'm sorry, this storyline right now is built for heel MJF. Like this storyline, him joining the Elite, like would be.
I don't think he would go. I don't think he would join the Elite.
I don't think so either because he hates the Bucks.
Exactly.
But
if I'm in a man who hate the Bucks more than me, it's him.
Yeah.
No, I can't stand them fuckers. I wish
I don't like him.
God rest the dead. If Bobby Eaton was here and he was still younger, I'd put them in the ring with him and Stan Lane and watch them wipe the floor with their ass.
Yep.
All right, well, guys, that's going to do it for another episode of Fight Night. Thank y'all for joining us. Make sure you tune in again next Tuesday. We'll be talking about the Bax News recap, as well as Dynamite from this week. And, no Collision this Saturday because of playoffs.
Yes. Yes.
So, all right, thank y'all. Y'all have a good night. Will, take us out.
Take care, everybody. Don't forget to join us next week, this same bat time, same bat channel for another edition of Fight Night right here on Twitch and YouTube. We'll see you guys next week.